हाय गाइस, इट्स श्रेया हियर एंड वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल ब्यूटी एंड द कोट। आज के वीडियो में मैं आपके साथ फ्रेंच एवेन्यू एंड फ्रेग्रेंस वर्ल्ड का लिक्विड ब्रून फ्रेग्रेंस का रिव्यू लेकर आई हूँ। दिस इज हाउ द आउटर बॉक्स लुक्स लाइक एंड दिस वन इज लिटरली अ वेरी luxurious perfume, and if you are into vanillic based fragrances, this review is for you. So when I did sentopiaperfumes.com haul, in that I showed that I've purchased this perfume along with Miss ARMAF, and you guys had so many questions about this one. I got a lot of DMs on Instagram, a lot of messages on that perfume haul itself, and most of you are inquiring about this particular variant. So I thought, let me just bring in the full-blown review, my thoughts and everything that I feel what this perfume is about and whether it is suitable for you or not. So let's discuss. Let's begin with the video. Before we do so, make sure कि आपने मेरे channel पे subscribe किया है, you hit the bell notification and you follow me on Instagram. And now let's get started. Let's talk about the packaging first. So this comes in this very hard, kind of like almost wooden box. Like, I think this is a hard cardboard or a wooden box. The packaging is just amazing, has a very deep brown color with some pattern and texture, and you can see that there is a crystal here, right? So very beautiful packaging, a golden strip, then some details here. You can see the fragrance notes that are mentioned here. That is superb. Ingredient listing, quality assurance sticker, and a very wholesome sort of a packaging. Also, it kind of opens like a cupboard. I'm going to show you now. So this is how the perfume opens up, like a cupboard. I really like this concept and looks very nice and chic. And this is how the perfume bottle is sitting inside. Now, once I take off this, the packaging is just too good, and this is how the perfume bottle looks like. Now it is again has a very kind of like a brown metallic tone to it with this crystal in the center, and French Avenue details are mentioned right at the bottom here. And overall, this is how the packaging is. Also, like, this has a very beautiful cap. On opening, this is the atomizer. Cap is plastic and kind of not too heavy, but the glass bottle and everything looks quite luxe. MRP for this perfume is 4,999. At Sentopia Perfumes, it's already at discounted price where you can get it for around 3,249 rupees. You can also use my coupon code Shreya5 to get additional 5% off, only and only if you're placing a prepaid order of rupees 2,500 as a minimum purchase. The coupon code is not affiliated, so feel free to use it or skip. Let's talk about the notes breakdown for this one. So liquid Brun opens up with some cardamom, cinnamon, bergamot and orange blossom. Middle notes of bourbon, vanilla and elemi. Base notes of musk, praline, ambroxan and guacwood. Now let me just explain you what I feel about these notes. So it has a very fresh, spicy opening to it, because इसमें बर्गमॉट की वजह से एक जेस्टीनेस है, ऑरेंज ब्लॉसम की वजह से एक वाइट फ्लोरल एक ब्राइटनेस ऐड होता है, जस्ट अ टच ऑफ ब्राइटनेस. दिस इज नॉट अ फ्लोरल फ्रेग्रेंस बाय एनी मीन्स. सो ऑरेंज ब्लॉसम इज जस्ट ब्रिंगिंग इन सम कैरेक्टर in this fragrance, and then you have cardamom and cinnamon and cardamom is bringing a lot of spiciness in this fragrance, and cardamom is one of the most dominating notes in this perfume, right from the top notes to the bottom. Right from the start of the journey of this fragrance till the dry down, you will always get that wisp of cardamom. So if you don't like cardamom, stay away from this one, because this just has a very strong cardamom. Cinnamon in this one is again just kind of adding a character here. It's not very strong, like the cinnamon is not very strong here. Middle notes of bourbon, vanilla and elemi. Now this is where the whole magic, this is the main thing that is giving the character, the elemi. It's like a balsamic, kind of like a resinous sort of a feel. This one mixed with vanilla and spices has a very thick gooey resin feel to it. So this is where the whole thickness, this is where the whole kind of that density in this perfume is coming from. The bourbon, vanilla and elemi are like the hero, are like the stars of this perfume. Then the musk, praline, ambroxan and guacwood are obviously adding to a lot of sweetness in this fragrance. All in all, through and through, this is kind of like a spicy, warm vanilla fragrance. As a whole, you can call it that, but it is very different from all the vanilla fragrances that I have. Just has that thick resin feel to it that just makes it super dense. And this is not like your light airy fragrance. This is a dense ooey gooey fragrance. This is a warm hug. This is a strong hug. This kind of like, you know, screams autumn winter in a bottle for me. This has a feel of that, you know, typical spicy Indian chai for me. Like it just has that kind of like chai latte, like you know, you are making that tea and you're putting all the ingredients, some cream, some milk, cinnamon, cardamom, thoda sa ginger, and you're adding like a hint of kind of like vanilla essence in your tea, adding sugar, mixing it up, and then giving it a good boil, and then the you know, just your kitchen just fills with that chai ka fragrance, that Indian spices boiling in the water and milk, and that whole you know, feel of creating that chai. This one has that for me. Now some people also say that they get like a temple like vibe or a kind of like a incense vibe. To my nose, I don't get much of an incense here. I think it's the elemi note mixed with all the other notes which is giving you that perception of an incense, but it actually is not a temple like fragrance. To my nose, this does not smell temple like. This does not smell religious. This kind of smells like a very elite, a very kind of like you know, rich chai, Indian chai. That's what I feel this smells like. Now this is a cozy weather fragrance. Of course you can wear it during daytime, but this just does so well during evenings and nighttime. This is a perfect date night scent. This is a banger in performance. Like this just goes for 6-7 hours straight with around 5-6 sprays. You really don't need to go overboard with overspraying this to get a good performance. This has a good sillage. This projects well. You will get the wisp of that sweetness throughout the day. Like every 45 minutes, every 1 hour, you're going to get a wisp of this fragrance, and it keeps reminding you that I'm here with you. I'm not leaving your side. So this is that kind of a fragrance. Also, I find this to be a unisex fragrance. However, this is quite sweet, but this is something that both men and women can rock, can wear, and it is such a balanced, a well-rounded fragrance that you really don't have to think whether it is feminine or masculine and all of that. Just go for it. This is a perfect unisex fragrance. Now this one, I do find it to be value for money because of the overall scent profile and the performance. This one is duping Altair by Perfume de Marly. Perfume de Marly is a very expensive brand and I absolutely cannot afford it. I cannot even think of purchasing like a 10 ml of it. It's very expensive, and after experiencing liquid Brun, I don't feel the need of going for that original fragrance. There are subtle differences between the two is what I've heard. Don't have the PDM Altair with me to do the comparison for you. So independently, I'm just talking about how beautiful this fragrance is, and only if you are a lover of vanilla, the sweet, thick, kind of like ooey gooey fragrance, something that you are looking for during winters and during rainy season, I think this one is the one to go for. Is it a safe blind buy? For me it is, because I think that this is very balanced. The spiciness is there, but again not something which is screechy, well rounded with vanilla, well rounded with kind of different elements. The woodiness in this brings in a lot of maturity. Initially when I got this fragrance and I sniffed it, so the first thing that hit my mind was, oh, this is a masculine vanilla. Like that was the first instance when I sniffed it. I was like, yeah, this one is quite manly. But then when I started using and putting it on myself, my thoughts completely changed, because the way it works on my skin, the way it sits on my clothes, the way it works, it's just a perfect unisex fragrance. So don't be afraid, and this is for me kind of like a safe blind buy. So I think that this one is absolutely worth the money. In fact, the moment this gets over, I will not hesitate to repurchase this one, because the scent profile is something that I love. I have the tendency to like more vanillic, gourmand, sweet, thick fragrances, something which are very potent, something which are, you know, kind of polarizing. I tend to gravitate towards those fragrances rather than the fragrances that are too airy in nature. This one is right up my alley, and I am so happy that Fragrance World fragrances are basically coming in Indian market, and thanks to scentopiaperfumes.com for bringing them all the latest launches and all the viral fragrances to the Indian market. So my overall rating for this one is 10 out of 10. Yes, I am super impressed. I'm super happy. I want to recommend this to everyone. If you are a gourmand lover, you should have this in your collection, no doubts about it. So try and test and tell me what you feel about this fragrance, and I would love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments section. Let's make that area chatty. So that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do subscribe, hit the bell notification, and follow me on Instagram, and I'm gonna see you very soon in my next video. Bye.